Alright, we're on Discontent, Woodbridge, and neighboring towns. I'm your host, Joseph Evaldi, and this is the show with
Okay, my name is Evaldi. I'm Joseph's father.
my dad.
I lived in Perth Amboy most of my whole life. I was in business there for 30 years. I loved the town. But I had to leave the town when the town went a little sour because the business, after the riots they had there many years ago, and customers didn't want to come to town anymore. So what happened is I had to leave, close up my store. Went to work for 4 years in Woodbridge Center and a styling salon. Then I went to work for Mr. John in Woodbridge. I've been here for 20 years. But I was 30 years in my store in Perth Amboy, which I loved. I had a beautiful store.
I'm just giving him the mic. I'm reading on this story, from the New York Times. It's called "This Case is Already Different. The Police Are Breaking Ranks." I'll let Dad.
I have a lot of experience with this. I grew up in a town in the early days of Perth Amboy. When a policeman saw you on a side gathering in front of stores, he had a billy club in his hand, never hurt you. He would tell you, guys, keep moving. And you know what? We listened to him. We always walked away. And today, people put a fuss up against a police officer because he's doing his job, and they turn around and they sort of revolt. And they turn around and don't want to do what he's asking.
I'm gonna go on a little bit of it's.
So listen.
It's a. I'll let you speak. Then let me speak.
So what happens is they turn around and what you call it. We would walk away. He never hurt us. And I learned a story years ago. If a police officer were to confront you and say you were something else or whatever the case may be, all you do is listen to him. Get up and do what he asks. Even if you are wrong or right.
I'm going to discuss something.
You want to be devil's advocate?
I'm devil's advocate, just like the other podcast.
Go ahead.
Okay. There was a situation that happened a very long time ago in the 90s. It was with the Rodney King beating. I don't know if you remember that. No. 4 police officers viciously beat up the one guy over race. Now I'm not, for one I'm gonna state, I am against the destruction of property because people paid for the property. They have that right. However, at the same end, the police don't have that right to beat. So when they're all beating each other up senselessly over God knows what, it doesn't make sense. Do something creative.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say is even then, whatever the case may be, knowing what I know, I says you never put a fuss up against a police officer. If he tells you, hands behind your back, you don't protest or anything, because if you do, you could get hurt. Okay?
Well,
they're human beings under pressure. They have so much pressure on them, they could do a lot of different things.
Which means it is possible they could be on their psychotropic medication.
Most of the time, not. Because what happens, most of the time, the police officers don't have these types of medications.
However, if they are, they're deemed high risk too.
You're right.
Okay. Main reason why we're discussing this in the Woodbridge, this Woodbridge podcast is because in about a day or two, we're going to have several protesters come into town. And, they're going to have their right and they're going to have their say. And then some are going to be peaceful, some are going to be vicious, or some are going to be violent. Like, it's just the nature of the thing. But the thing is, we're in Woodbridge. We're in our hometown.
Yeah, Woodbridge, I'll tell you the truth. We have where I live right now, and where Joe lives. We live in a place where we're a mixed neighborhood. We have blacks, Hispanics, whites. We have all different colors in our block.
Let's just call a spade a spade.
What do you mean?
Now, I'm gonna say this. Over the coronavirus,
yeah,
how many people have, just make sure I plug this in. I don't want anything going dead over the podcast, because it could wind up dead.
Well plugged in, right?
Afraid.
What's the matter?
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties?
Yeah, technical difficulties.
Working.
Let's see if it's charging.
I'm gonna only a couple minutes. I gotta go upstairs.
Yeah, I'm just checking to see if it's charging. Meaning? Looks like we're running out of battery power. How convenient. Oh, wow.
I mean, you gotta charge up, huh?
It's, dying, and, I don't know. It could be the wrong charger, who knows? Things like that happen all the time. Especially discussing, a story like this. Let's just say this. I'm gonna say this for the record. Both sides are right, both sides are wrong.
Well,
if anything, if it's violent, it's stupid. They're idiots. If it's... I got the charge now. Good. Okay, if it's right, then good. If it's wrong, oh well. But not oh well, but I'm gonna say this. Anytime I see something like on the news, Corona going on, people out on the street protesting, they're angry. Maybe they've been in the hospital too long, and I can't necessarily doubt that, because I've been in the hospital too recently, and I've seen what goes on. Fact is, if you're in a hospital setting, and if I'm in danger to somebody, or they're in danger to me, wouldn't I want somebody to protect me? I mean, that's what it is. It's like they're protecting each other. And, when something like this happens and it's unfortunate, it's wrong. But, they may be wrong because they may overstep their boundaries.
Yeah, this is the problem. Like I said, I could see, like when someone...
They provoke something.
The thing is like this. When you have a problem with a local police department or people that run the city, fire them. Find new people to run the city. That's what you have to do. Get rid of your mayor. Get rid of your councilman. Vote. Don't sit back and not vote. Vote.
I'm taking a different stance.
Not me.
Who tells the mayor, who tells the congressman what to do? The people.
Yeah.
But if we're protesting everything else, yeah, they're listening. but I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go, Joe.
People tell people what to do, and that's it.
Here's
This is
something.
it.
What's that?
That's the phone call. Hold on a second. We got a phone call. We got Terry.
Sarah?
Terry. Hold on a second. Put you on loud.
Don't need him now.
No, he's good.
But we don't need him.
He's being on the podcast. Hey Terry, how are you? We're not doing a podcast right now. We're talking about this situation that's going on right now. They're entering into our hometown. What do you think?
Oh, those Black Lives Matter people?
Well, this is a podcast, so you could speak your mind.
They're just a bunch of misguided idiots. I'm sorry, but I hear it.
Well, what?
Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter.
Every life matters.
All lives matter. You know, I'll tell you the truth. I have, for instance, I've never been a prejudiced person. I have all different types of people that I did work with years ago, and it didn't bother me. They're friends of mine just as much as they are anyone else. So it's just that what they're doing now can hurt. Really, it hurts a lot of people. They wreck stores. And these people, their whole lives went before them. Some of them didn't even have probably enough insurance to pay for the damage. And people are now looking at that, and they're saying, hey, it's not a good idea. But I don't think it's good just to do what they did. But, like for instance, so many of them like this, and they're protesting this way. Instead of protesting on the streets, all you have to do is vote the people out. That's it. Many of those people that are there don't even vote. Some of them are not here even legally.
Some of them don't know what to do unless somebody tells them what to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's not right.
It's basically the blind leading the
You have
blind.
elections coming up and everything else. They should be out there registering to vote. They should apply for citizenship. Study, become a citizen.
Well, the Democrats, they want to start a race war. That's the whole point of this.
Yeah, but I'll tell you the truth. I don't.
Well, actually, you know what? I am going to make this from what my observance is. It's not all blacks. It's a class system, like amongst races and stuff like that. It's like certain blacks, certain blacks,
I'll tell
definitely.
you what, I had many years ago, my grandfather, this property fucked the black person's family, right? Next door to where he was living, and they were good people. And when he died, and they brought his body back to Perth Amboy to be buried, to have a funeral service there. And what happened is, you remember Sammy Davis Jr.? He came to that funeral in Perth Amboy.
Oh, wow.
Yep, I saw him. Me and my brother did. When he had that mask on it, that thing on his eye. That was him. So, but my next door neighbor one time was a black person in Perth Amboy. I grew up there, and they asked my mother, would you mind putting the bicycles in the house, just before Christmas? And we said, no, come on, bring